So we'll look at another aspect of solid waste management now in a broader context, but you can imagine that we are hammering the planet in many ways. Land use change is one of them. But directly, of course, emissions from energy consumption. All our energy is produced mostly carbon-based, feedstock like fossil fuels, and we consume too much, which is where the energy-intensive lifestyle comes from. But we also waste too much. We generate just way too much waste, right? So waste management is always a big part of sustainability, as is rather obvious. So UNIFAT Solid Waste Management Plan, Education and Environmental Perception. What is it? The search for sustainability has promoted debates, analysis, and programs for the elaboration and implementation of environmental policies in various societal sectors. In this process, the inherent complexity of understanding environmental problems and their direct relation to human activities becomes increasingly evident. As an example, the problem related to solid waste management must be highlighted. This issue involves factors such as patterns of production and consumption, negative environmental impacts on fauna and flora, contamination of soil and water, etc. So to manage waste better, you want to start at the source. So patterns of production and consumption can help a lot in reducing waste upfront rather than managing it after it's been produced and then looking for reducing the impact on flora, fauna, soil and water, etc. Right? From this perspective, it's important to emphasize the role of education and higher education institutions in the mobilization and articulation of individuals as transforming agents of the socio-environmental reality in which they are inserted. So I wrote an article recently in a magazine in India on this part, where the climate advocacy largely focuses on, reducing eating meat, traveling, consumption overall, energy use, water use, food waste, etc., etc. But very little is focused on agency, on mobilization and articulation of individuals as transforming agents of the socio-environmental reality. So it's easy to say, can I do enough to actually make a change? Or you can say, I am consuming too much anyway, so I need to reduce. Let's say eating, which is very obvious because we are eating overall too much. Obesity is a problem across the world, and we are eating way too much sugar. Sugar is bad for you anyway, added sugar. Sugar is in everything we eat, directly or indirectly. Half the time you don't even know that sugar has been added. And producing sugar with sugar cane and other things is generally environmentally not so great, because people tend to grow cash crops like sugar canes in places where there isn't enough water to do that. So all these things come down to not only climate change, but doing mindful things just for our own sake. So with that little preaching, I'll come back to this. So in this perspective, work aims to present the analysis of students' perceptions of UNIFAT, located in Atibaia, São Paulo, Brazil. I don't know how. Atibaia, São Paulo. I keep saying São Paulo because that's how I've heard Brazilians say it, but some Portuguese person can ping me on that. So Solid Waste Management Plan, which has been operational since 2014, the program is an action developed by the Center of Studies, Postgraduate and Extension Activities, so CP UNIFAT, and it has achieved relevant socio-environmental results, such as reducing the volume of waste sent to landfills, generating income for recycling communities members and their families, and the environmental awareness of students and teachers. So there is some tracking done to see how solid waste is actually being reduced because of this program. Of course, now it's a question of sustaining it and sending out those students as agents of change outside as well, so that they can amplify what they learned and get others to also engage in reducing waste. This is a no regret decision, right? You're not being asked to consume less as such. You're just asked to consume just as much as you need so that you reduce waste. Okay, Conclusion then, according to Smith et al., solid waste management programs are one of the greatest challenges to achieving sustainability on campus. In this sense, the development of this work demonstrated the importance, results, and challenges of the preparation, implementation, and maintenance of UNIFAT's solid waste management plan. In 4 years of existence of this proposal, it's possible to conclude that it was possible to achieve direct and indirect economic benefits in view of the reduction of the cost of waste disposal in the institution and the possibility of generating income for those involved in the processes regarding the recycling of this material. So we talked about various aspects, including the mainstreaming of waste pickers and so on. So this is another nice addition. 4 years is a short period, yet it gives good results. It's a good time to review and see if the program is working and going in the right direction. Of course, now they will plan to see how this can be sustained as well, I'm sure. In addition, proposals such as this can help minimize the pollution of soil, air, and water generated by the inadequate disposal of solid waste. So these are called co-benefits. So if there is direct and indirect economic benefits, that gets the attention of the university administration and the bean counters, the auditors, which can make it sustainable, and then you tell them there are reputational gains by pointing out that pollution of soil, air, and water are also reduced because of this program of solid waste management. So that will get them even more excited, because you can make brochures about reducing pollution by the university and increasing recycling and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's leave this here and talk next about taking students to the landfill, a field trip to the landfill. How exciting is that? See you in the next podcast.